I was looking at this thing because I was counting my steps. But tonight I looked at it because I'm worried about my heart. It's 110 beats a minute. Is that good or not? I don't know. But the real bad part is my iPhone will tell me my iWatch is going to die. The battery's dead. I hope it's just the iPhone. Anyway, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul Babb. I'm the president of the very Peaceful Theatre Company of Newmarket. And we're proud to present the Newmarket International Festival of one-act plays. Tonight is the second night. Last night we had a good group of people here. How many were here last night? Yeah, and you're back. Thank you for coming back. A lot of people bought 3 nights, and we really appreciate that. And I have some housekeeping things I have to talk about. And the first thing is, where are the washrooms? Well, actually, the first thing is, where's the bar? The bar will be behind there. And then we'll have an intermission for 15 minutes if you would like to get a refreshment. But the washrooms, the ladies' washrooms at the front here, and the men's washrooms at the back. I ask that you make sure you turn your iPhone off, so there's no ringing, you don't bother the neighbor. So please turn off your iPhone. We don't allow any video or photographs. We have a gentleman tonight taking the videos for us. If you would like to see it, contact John and he'll show you the show later on. But we're streaming tonight, so that's really, really good. I want to thank our piano player, Dave Tom. Was he good tonight? He was here last night, did a great job, and we really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. All right, so where am I putting this? Anyway. Tonight I created 2 amazing one-act plays. They received their Canadian premiere right here in Newmarket. In fact, I think Newmarket, we're the first to have live plays on stage in Ontario. So that's pretty darn good. To start something like this, to have it even started, we'll actually start our meetings 2 weeks from now for next year. And for these productions, we went through 110 plays, narrow it down to 8, and 2 of which you're going to see tonight, if you just bought tonight. So it's a lot of work there. And it's all done by volunteers. Cary Pepper and Directed is a non-for-profit. We're all volunteers on the board. Any board members here tonight? Yep, we've got 2 board members here tonight. We meet once a month, we've been Zooming once a month, and to try and get the production to where it is today. And I want to thank the cameraman for he's volunteering to do his job for us, so we can be on YouTube. Is it YouTube?
Facebook.
Facebook, it's on Facebook. So it's all volunteer work. And none of it can be done without money. And when you buy a ticket, that helps pay for all the costs to put the productions on. We also go after sponsors. So tonight's sponsor is Meridian Credit Union here in Newmarket. Let's hear a warm applause for Meridian Credit Union. Okay, I work for them, all right? I'm a little biased, but the sponsors help pay for the night as well, so it's really good. Last night was Hollis Well, they paid for that. And Cachet Restaurant, where's Cachet Restaurant? They're the ones that provided the bar tonight. Jen's here, the owner of Cachet Restaurant. And they also sponsored Saturday night. So they're not only providing refreshments, bringing the people here, but they also sponsor tomorrow night, putting money in our account, the charity account. So when you think, okay, what happens to the money when you get it? We donate more than half of it to a local charity. And this year the charity we picked was the Food Pantry of Newmarket. So they will get half of whatever we raise from these 3 nights of it. So, what are the shows tonight? Well, the first one is, now I want you to listen to the title. It's called Mark My Words. It's a comedy written by a guy from San Francisco named Cary Pepper, and it's directed by our own D.Jay Elektra. D.J. there? Yeah. D.J. there. That's the comedy. So that's kind of nice, because the next one, I understand, is going to be a tearjerker, and I bought clearances for the ladies, and we'll have them out for you should you need a clearance. And it's called Rosa and Leo. It's a warm-hearted play by an Australian playwright, Adam Szudrich, and directed by Amanda Dempsey. Laughlin. Is Amanda here? There's Amanda. So the plays are about 25 to 35 minutes long. After the first play, we'll take a 15-minute break, go to the washroom, take a bottle of water, whatever you need to do for 15 minutes so we can change the stage, and then we come back up. But the number one rule, you have to have your mask on at all times. You know, maybe not the washroom, but you have to have them on at all times, okay? If you want to drink your wine, if you want straws, I don't know how you're going to do it, but anyway, that's what I have to tell you. Okay? Enjoy the show. Thank you.
Mason, good to see you again. Thanks again for signing on.
Thanks for asking me.
I wanted you for this part from the moment we got permission to do the play. Didn't even ask anyone else.
Didn't even ask me to audition.
Didn't have to. As far as I'm concerned, this is your part. Gloria Fulton's agreed to do the other role.
Well, that's great. She puts her all in everything. You know, she's so committed. You know, in the last play we did, I was supposed to slap her in the face. She insisted I actually do it.
Oh,
she's so committed.
She is so great. She says the same thing about you, so we're already in great shape. She'll be late tonight, but why don't you and I do a read-through? I can read in for her.
Okay.
Do you know how lucky we are to have this? A play by LaSalle Montclair the world has never seen?
LaSalle Montclair? Yes. I thought all of his plays had been done.
So did everyone else. I think it's one of those long-forgotten works discovered in the attic kind of things. I don't think we'll to worry about full houses. You want to get started?
Well, I haven't read the script.
Oh, sorry about that. The estate is putting all sorts of restrictions on the production. They're being very fussy about the script not being seen before the play opens. They're monitoring all copies of the play. Gloria just got hers last night, and it's a long story. We'll do a cold read, and we'll take it as we go.
All right.
So, the play opens where you're threatening Gloria's character.
I've got a gun!
That's not what the script says.
Yeah, I know. It says I got a bun. But that's obviously a typo.
I agree, but we have to perform the play exactly as written. Every word. It's in our contract with Montclair's estate.
It's a typo.
I told you what, the estate was being fussy? Try dictatorial. Dictatorial on steroids. If we don't produce and perform this play exactly as written, they'll pull production rights. They've made that very clear.
That can't apply to typos.
That applies to everything.
Did you know this when you agreed to direct the thing?
Yes, but I didn't think it was written this way. Turns out all his scripts are written like this. Montclair might have been a brilliant satirist, but he's a lousy typist. And he wrote all his plays on a typewriter. So, no spell check.
So you're going to have me hold a bun on stage?
That's what the script says.
And Gloria's going to be scared of a bun?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's in the script.
No. Why would anyone be scared of a bun?
Let's deal with that when we talk about the characters' backstories.
I won't do it.
Oh, you have to. It's in your contract with us. Clause number 15. You agree to perform script as written.
So now you're threatening me with contract?
If I don't, the producers will. They really want to do this play. Let me ask you something. You've read Montclair's work. Didn't you know what you were signing on for?
Well, yeah, but the absurdist language is always in the dialogue. It's not in what characters do on stage. Besides, at least in his later works, they're way more naturalistic than this.
You know what? This is an early piece. Maybe he became a better typist. From the top.
I've got a bun.
Oh, don't hurt me!
Then come out of there or I'll... John, you can't be serious.
Contracts, stipulations. Don't hurt me.
Come out of there or I'll hoot.
How are you going to hoot?
What?
How are you going to hoot? That's not intimidating.
Well, no, it's supposed to say shoot and it says hoot. A hoot's not intimidating.
Not the way you're doing it.
Well, how would you do it?
I don't give those instructions to my actors. That would be insulting.
This is insulting. I mean...
Reach into your toolbox and find the right instrument.
Reach into my toolbox? I mean, can't I scream or screech or something? You gotta give me something to work with.
Sorry, you have to hoot. Not intimidating.
Well, okay, let's move on. I'll work on it.
Okay, from the hoot. From the hoot? You kissed me.
Why would I kiss you?
That's what it says.
How would I even be close enough to kiss you?
You're a crazed killer. You do unexpected things. Moving on.
Then I'll hoot again.
You pissed. Okay. So when she says that, you're gonna look at the audience and then look at your pants.
Why?
You're checking to see if she's right.
About what?
That you pissed. I interpret that to mean that you've pissed yourself.
Why?
You're nervous?
About what?
I'll let you decide that.
Okay, I'm a crazed killer. How about I decide that just didn't happen?
But she just said it did.
I don't think I can do this.
It's a long-lost script written by a brilliant writer that the world has never seen. It's gonna be a sellout. It's gonna be huge.
We're gonna get
Are you
laughed.
sure? Are you sure you want to turn that down?
We're gonna get laughed off this stage.
I think we're gonna get nominated for a Tony.
I think you're out of your mint.
My mint?
It's a typo.
What are you talking about?
It's a typo. It's just one letter, just like in this. But, you know, we know what the playwright's really trying to say.
And we know what the playwright wrote.
That's only because you couldn't hype.
What?
Type. It's a typo. Look, why don't we try and do it without the mistakes? At least it'll make sense.
We signed a contract with his estate and...
If we perform this, we're signing our death warrants. We're going to get laughed out of this business.
Do you know what they said about the last Montclair play that was done? The one about Jesus? He vied for our fins? Do you know? Let me tell you. Okay. Montclair is a world-class absurdist with an amazing ear for languages who turns society's foibles squarely on their heads with devastating comedic effect. That was the New York Times. And in London, they set a hilarious play by a courageous artist for whom nothing is sacred. The masterpiece takes the audience on a wild ride during which everything people think they know is thrown back at them in which seems like nonsense, but soon strikes home as deftly created social commentary. Our productions are going to be named in reviews just like those.
But this is, the estate's insisting on this? I mean, why would the estate want this to be his long-lost play?
The estate feels that his literary reputation is based on his signature style. It's what's established him as a
Playwright who couldn't type?
A world-class absurdist for whom nothing is sacred. You know, he ran his goldfish for mayor of his town.
He was that crazy?
He was that good. The goldfish won! The estate just doesn't want his reputation tarnished or sullied. Their words. Moving on, we're moving to the part of the play where it begins to escalate and you approach her.
Oh, we're not doing the next stage direction as it's written.
We have to!
Have you read it?
Yes!
Well, I hadn't until now, and if I had, I wouldn't have taken this role.
But you did take this role.
Yeah, but that's, I hadn't read the script. I would have assumed this is a typo, which we would fix.
But we can't!
We can't perform it as written, and especially with Gloria. I mean, she's gonna...
We have to perform it as written.
You gotta be kidding. I mean, this is just one typo. It's a few typos, and it's like...
Okay, we're gonna start. So you approach her and she kicks you in the balls.
John.
Yoo-hoo! Oh, here's Gloria now. Now we can really dig in.
Mason, John, I can't tell you how excited I am to be doing this play. As soon as I got the call, I started researching Montclair. It's not an easy one to get right.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Well, I may be able to help. I found a brilliant PhD thesis on Montclair, written by Thorndike Farrington, about his first play, you know, the anti-fascist piece. They burned all the cooks. It provides enormous insight into how Montclair thought.
Wonderful. You can please feel free to share as we're going along. Mason and I were just doing some preliminary work, but now that you're here, why don't we start over?
I've got a bun.
Oh, I love that line. It's such a strong beginning.
Don't you think it'd be a lot stronger if we read it the way it was supposed to be written?
That is the way it's supposed to be written.
Why would I threaten you with a bun?
Well, Montclair hated violence, or as he put it, he was violently against violence.
But a bun?
Montclair loved food almost as much as he hated violence. As he put it, it consumes me as I consume it. He said food was the answer to all of our problems, especially war. He once launched a campaign to have every war fought with food. What he's saying here is that you, the instrument of violence, should be wielding a bun. Because if everyone who resorted to violence did that, all violence would end.
It does make sense.
Only if you're defending a PhD thesis.
Don't hurt me!
Then come out, or I'll hoot. Are you really going to be frightened by a hoot?
I'm not supposed to be frightened. Building on the bun metaphor by making you hoot. I Montclair reinforces his position. On anyone resorting to violence is inherently weak. By making you hoot, it undermines you in the eyes of the audience and disempowers you in the world of the play.
You have got to be kidding.
Not according to Farrington.
Farrington missed the fact that this is an obvious typo.
Only if you take it literally. Listen, this is how Farrington describes it. Montclair's unique dialogue should not be viewed within the framework of the traditional communication paradigm.
Oh, you mean typing accurately?
Farrington deconstructs Montclair's psyche, and he determines that it's a major thrust of his oeuvre.
Thus the hoot.
You know, if anyone other than Farrington,
Well, of
Montclair
course,
had done this.
you have to consider the source. Oh, if anyone else, but Montclair clearly knew what he was doing.
maybe what he was doing is making fools of all of us.
Farrington takes that issue head on. He says, it's not to make fools of us, but to hold up a mirror to our assumptions. Here, he calls it the transmutation of preconception to sublime subordination.
Am I the only one who's saying here?
You're just responding according to the traditional communication paradigm.
So Mason hoots and
You pissed! Oh, I love that line. It's so
Utterly ridiculous.
bitingly clever.
Why?
Oh, you just have to read Farrington. I'll send you a copy. Montclair continues his assault on violence. And he says that if you are resorting to violence, you are becoming a beast. And so, you relieve yourself whenever and wherever you want. Here. Montclair explores the shadowy region where humankind's primal nebulaic plasma, listen, merges with its outward veneer of imposed order and primitive, runs headlong into the nascent,
which jives with you looking down at yourself. It communicates to the audience that you're aware of the transformation. It's a perfect moment.
and it truly foreshadows your transformation. And if the audience is sharp, they'll know you're becoming bestial before you do. You kissed me! Oh, that's such a wonderful thing!
Why would I kiss you?
It's hard to believe now, but I wouldn't have known any of this had I not read Farrington. But now, it's all so clear. You feel yourself becoming a beast. So you make a desperate attempt to retain your humanity by reaching out to another human being in a last attempt to connect.
I just pissed. How would I even get close enough to kiss you?
You're being literal again. That is a fatal trap with Montclair. It's a metaphorical leap of faith, a projection of your inner turmoil. More beast than human. You are imbued with superhuman strength.
Then you rush at her and she kicks you in the balls.
What happened to Montclair's opposition to violence?
Opposition to violence. Oh, I know what you're saying. Yep, very astute, Mason. Oh, you're getting it. Farrington devotes an entire chapter to this very issue. In Montclair, there's only one character that resorts to violence. The other is the anima to their animus. In They Burnt the Cooks, the script read, she kicks him in the head. But when it was performed, she hit him with a bread.
And what was Montclair's response to that?
What was his idea? He thought the original text was a typo.
And how did the audience respond?
Standing ovation.
So, Gloria won't kick me in the balls then.
You know what? That's too good of a moment to lose. And the estate.
You know, I've been thinking about this, wondering what would Montclair think? And you know what I came up with? I would make him lick bowls.
That makes sense.
I think Montclair would love it. And the estate. I know how the estate can be. But they've been known to change their mind. Can you just run it by them? Please, please.
I suppose it doesn't hurt to ask. Now, moving on to part of the play that we haven't gotten to yet. The both of you grapple, and Gloria, you get the upper hand. Okay?
Now I've got the gum.
Oh, John, come on. First I attack her with a bun, and now she comes at me with gum?
It's in the script.
It's Montclair's extended metaphor.
How does a bun become gum?
We could use a strobe effect.
You know, that would work. But it's not a problem. We had the same problem in Cooks. And a set of books became boots. And the image of the actors stomping around the stage with books strapped to their feet was amazing.
Another standing ovation, I suppose?
One critic's favorite moment.
Really?
Critics adore Montclair. Those reviews I read before, every one of its plays have received raves just like those.
Really?
Across the board, I think we're going to make theatrical history.
Absolutely!
Oh, and another thing, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but the producers are already receiving calls, so many calls from the media already, they're starting to lose count. This is going to be a feeding frenzy. Our careers are going to go into the stratosphere.
Really?
Okay, so Gloria, you have him at gunpoint.
I have a question.
Of course.
What kind of gum is it?
Does that make a difference?
Of course it makes a difference. I'm going to react one way if it's bubble gum, another way if it's sugarless.
Good point.
And we need to consider if it's Chip-Its or a stick of gum.
That is so important. I mean, the implications are incredible.
Well, Montclair doesn't specify, so I think it's up to us. Why don't we try a few different ways and see which way works best?
And we can't overlook gumballs. The symbolism speaks volumes.
Especially if you roll them around in your hand.
Oh, I love that.
Oh.
The primitive. Oh,
Think what you could do with a jawbreaker.
oh, what if you were already chewing the gum and I took it out of your mouth?
Or you took it from the bottom of my shoe.
Oh, the connotations,
The symbolism.
the innuendo.
Well, we certainly have an embarrassment of riches here. Okay, now we need to move on to the part of the play we haven't gotten to yet, where the both of you negotiate. Negotiate.
Oh, this is another one of Montclair's motifs. Farrington calls it the nexus between I want and I want.
So Gloria, you've got the gum, and you're negotiating for your life.
It doesn't have to end this way. Put down the gum and let's make a veal.
Oh, you see, the food metaphor.
It comes right around.
Listening, I'm listening. Give it your best part.
Okay, good. We're setting the audience up for a total complete, where the mood changes completely and you talk of a future together. The part of the play where you share your creams.
Oh, I'm loving this. Montclair, Farrington says, the unexpected joys and sometimes surprisingly delicious tears of the torturous but sublime maze of Montclair's multifaceted world. I can feel that.
The unexpected joys and the delicious terrors.
Oh, this is gonna be great. I feel like I already know most of my wines.
You were right, John. We got a real dinner here.
Okay, kids, let's take it one more time from the top before we move on. From the hoot.
Princess, is that you? Say something, just a word.
Liar!
Before you hang up, let me explain. No, let me apologize.
Stop ringing or I'll phone the police.
Oh, and have me arrested?
Yes. I hear they have electric chair in America.
Ah, it's good to hear your beautiful voice, Princess.
Leo, some women get weak in knees. I get weak in stomach.
See, time hasn't dulled your tongue.
Sticking out at you right now.
You're the only one that could truly make me laugh.
Ever try mirror?
Not a word in 53 years, and I called you 3 times in the last minute.
It's been 56 years, Leo. But you was never good at dates.
Oh, what are you saying? They didn't come looking for you after the war?
Sure, with your army of leggy blondes as foot soldiers.
Oh, come on. I was a kid who didn't play the field a little.
Leo, you played the whole part.
Let me explain.
No, let me guess. Hoorde sie der Stoller wenn in wollt net gemette bed. Wollt ich net gummen suchen kiet. It was the carpenter's fault. If he hadn't made the bed, you wouldn't have sinned.
Princess, you know what it was like in that concentration camp. Denied every pleasure in life, waiting at death's hands. And then suddenly you're released. What's an 18-year-old guy to do?
What he promised.
I'm sorry.
I'm not. You did me a favor. I met a good man.
That's great. I'm real happy for you, Princess.
Stop calling me that! You left your princess in the tower and you never came back.
Guess who?
I don't have time for your stories.
I know. It's not like you're standing there with your arms folded, staring at that California man in that ring with that little frown of yours. You forget how well we know each other, Princess.
You're wrong, Leo. I went back to bed, waiting for you. I gave up long ago.
I don't know why I didn't come for you after the war.
You don't know? That's it? You wait 56 years to come up with a reason and I don't know is what you got? Do us both a favor. Take some time, compose your thoughts, and call back in 56 years when you've got something for saying.
Don't hang up. Please. I'm getting RSI from hitting redial here. Can I ask, how long did you wait?
I get up every morning, get all dressed up, and I go and I sit in this park bench in the park in Warsaw, like we agreed. Until dark I would stay.
How many days did you sit?
As many days as makes 3.5 months.
Oh, I feel awful.
Oh, mazel tov. While you was getting fresh, I was getting piles.
I came back for you. It was 2 months after we were supposed to meet. I poked out of my hiding spot, and there you were, sitting on that bench. I wanted to come to you, but you had this look on your face, like the only reason you were waiting for me was so that you could tear me apart and eat me alive. I couldn't will my legs to walk a single step. Can I ask you something I've had I come over? Would you have taken me back?
Only to tear you apart and eat you alive.
You're still angry at me.
No. Anger, I say for Hitler. For you, Schmendrick, I want nothing more than a slow death of painful hands.
About a year later, I came back looking. You were gone.
And you expected me on this bench? What am I, a pigeon?
They said you took a boat to Australia. Why Australia? Because that was the farthest you can go from me?
I tried getting a rocket ship to Mars, but there was no seats.
Well, for years, I had this dream. I'd see you standing on the deck of that boat, taking one last look out for me as you set sail. Is that how it played out?
No, Leo. I went to my cabin, and I was putting my luggage on the rack, and this man helps me with my case. 8 months later, that man, Max, becomes my husband.
I, too, married fast. To Sophie.
And you told this wife of yours that you found my cousin on the computer?
Of course.
And that Nudnik gave you my number?
Absolutely.
And I told my cousin that I would rather cut my tongue out with a blunt knife before I spoke with you.
Sophie thinks it's just two old friends catching up. She doesn't know how much you miss me.
Leo, there's a really nice place you have to visit. It's called reality.
Ah, Princess, you know you can fool the world with that tough woman, stiff-jawed, flared nostril routine. Not me. You know your giveaway? That little nervous twitch in your left pinky finger. Like that first night at the fence when I poked my pinky between the wires and wrapped mine around yours. God, I could have jumped through that fence and... Princess, you know why I married Sophie? Because she's the opposite of you.
And you know why I married someone brave and faithful? Because he was opposite of you.
Yeah, right. I was so infantile. But when you're young, you're a half-wit.
And now that you are old, you are full-wit. Goodbye, Leo.
Hey, aren't you interested in how my life turned out?
Oh, sure. Write a book. I can use it to keep the fires burning in winter.
Sing to me.
What?
Like we used to every night when we'd sneak down to the fence. Tumbala, tumbala, tumbalalaika. You in the women's camp, me in the men's. Risking our lives to whisper between the wires. Tumbala, tumbala, tumbalalaika. Dancing in a death camp. What a thing. Imagine we're in each other's arms.
I don't live in the past, Leo. Even if the past lives in me.
Visit me. I'll buy you a first-class ticket.
You have some chutzpah. I've waited months on this bench, and now you want I should schlep the world for you?
I talked to my doctor, Princess. He says the flight could kill me.
Then let me buy you a first-class ticket.
Oh, come on. Don't tell me you haven't thought about your skin on mine, Princess.
Sure, my fist on your nose, Elder Caca.
If you hate me so much, why do you still look at my photo?
What photo?
The one I had hidden in camp. The one I gave you. My portrait before the war. That innocent kid of 17. Smiling, big, full red cheeks. No idea what life was about to deal him.
I don't remember any photo.
Princess, you never were a good liar.
And you were always the best fun feral.
Oh, quit playing with me. You're not angry with lovable Leo.
No. With your parents for giving your life.
What happened when they took you from the camp? Years later, I hear...
Why can't you be like every other Jew and forget what happened?
Because I can still see the first time I laid eyes on you. Up in that window in the women's dormitory. All bald, full of bones. I've never seen anything so beautiful. I still hear those words as men ran into my dormitory months later. Leo had moved all the women. I raced to our fence, refusing to because we knew what moved meant. So I stood there, night after night, my finger wrapped around the wire. Friends plead with me that stop eating, wasting away. Live, Leo, survive. It's what Rosa would have wanted. Months later, many months later, I look up in the same window where I first saw your eye and see a new face. And I met Sophie. And we whispered between the wires. Not long after that, we were liberated. We married. Not for love, for children. Children that would hold their traditions. Children that would tell their children. What the Germans did to us. And all this time, in the back of my mind, is you. What if she survived? So I go to the park, and there you are, sitting on that bench. And I stand there, very man, with a pregnant wife, knowing I ruined both their lives.
I saw you.
I just want to hold you, Princess, even just once. What did you say?
I saw you.
I must have stood there for 2 hours.
I was waiting on the bench, and there you was, peeking through the bushes. I was waiting. It was you who never came over.
Did you have a good marriage?
My Max, he was a good man.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it was 10 years ago. And your marriage?
I've been divorced for 13 years. Ever since I stood at offense with no pinky to hold on to, I felt an ache in my heart.
That night we were taken from the camps, herded like animals. those of us who survived, we would lay in another camp, listening to screaming. Terrible screaming. Waiting to be pulled from our beds by what little hair was left on our heads. What those soldiers did to me. This is why I can never have children. But I can turn off the memories. My husband, Max, he was in Auschwitz. It was his job to pull the gold teeth from the bodies that was gassed. The faces of the dead came to him in nightmares. And the times he managed to sleep, I would leave my husband, sneak away to a hiding spot where I kept the photo, the portrait from before the war that you gave to me. When Max took his own life, I was so filled with guilt. I want to tear up this photo. And as I hold it in my hands, there's a message on his back. 4 words. Thanks for giving him. Be happy. Find him. He knew. For 47 years, Max knew. He gave his whole life and heart to me when he knew mine was somewhere else.
Rosa, I have to tell you something. I'm having a procedure. It's no cure. Maybe it buys me a couple months. When I found out, I just wanted to hold you. I'm never going to feel you in my arms.
Do you see my little finger? Hold it like you used to. How does this make you feel?
Like something I never should have let go of.
Dance with me. Tumbala, tumbala, tumbalaika, tumbala, tumbala, tumbalaika.
Tumbalalaika, trombalalaika, tumbalalaika, may we be happy.
You are in my arms now, Leo.
And you're in mine, princess. Tumbala, tumbala, tumbalalaka, tumbala, tumbala, tumbalalaka, tumbala. strong Balalaika, to Balalaika, may we be happy.
Okay. Sorry? Clear everything out?